recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list. Oh my God.
You're like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
Erin.
I haven't started cooking more, but I have started thinking about cooking more, so I've looked at a lot of recipes for things. Mostly cocktails.
Zakia.
I'm a very happy evil genius.
Yeah.
And Nick.
For all the listeners out there, if you spend enough money, you can be where I am today.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan and I'm here today with Chris Hollister. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Jonathan, it's good to be back on. It's been a few episodes. I've missed you. Only a little bit, not that much, but I've missed you a little bit. Yeah, so.
Never mind then. I got to play disc golf with you a couple of times in the last month or so. That was a lot of fun.
Yes, during my my unemployment era, which is now thankfully over with. So
congratulations on that.
Yes, I have taken my talents to another company, and I'm really having a good time there so far. So it's good stuff.
Awesome. Glad you're here, Chris.
Hey, thanks for having me on, bud.
Yes, sir. I am also here today with Erin Barkley. Hello, Erin.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello. Any new board games in the collection recently?
No, I've been trying to save money for some trips this year, so we're not doing as much with the board games. I've also been playing them as much because it's been nice out.
Fully understood. Actually, Chris, Erin too, but Chris, we just had Arjun Sivakumar on the last recording, learned that he's a big board game guy. I didn't know he's a board game guy, so
I'll have to remember that.
That wouldn't hurt if our... I always love connecting people to the communities they belong to. You know, it's like, hey, if we have a group that talks about board games, let's get the people who talk about board games in there. Mm-hmm.
Well, we do, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I'm actually looking at my newest board game I'm about to buy. As a matter of fact, it's called Binho. It's a soccer game, and where you actually have a little ball that you flick it down the field and everything. It's pretty outstanding.
Awesome. Okay, I'm excited about our guests today. First up, Mr. Cameron Spoor is with us. Hello, Cameron.
Hello, everybody.
Good to have you here, my friend. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Glad to be back.
For sure. Okay, Leah Popielinski is with us today. Hello, Leah.
Hi there.
It is good to see you again.
Oh, it's good to see you. This would be the first time that I'm actually on a show with you because the other time I was here was for Women's History Month.
Oh, well, I hope you're in for a treat. I'm scared that you might like it less. So we'll see which way it goes at the end of the show.
It's true story. True story.
Yeah, you never know, right? People have preferences.
That's right.
Leah, glad you're here. And Noah Hauber's with us. Hello, Noah.
Good afternoon, Jonathan.
The last time we got to hang out, were you with me? I know where we were. I think you were there in this moment. I've told the story about karaoke with the band of Robert Goulets coming and everybody's dressed like Robert Goulet doing karaoke in the imitation of Robert Goulet. Were you in the room with me for that?
Goulet.
It was at Dragon Con.
Yeah, I think we were there just as that started, and we had to head out for something at that moment because there's always something going on at Dragon Con, even at like 2 a.m. So
for sure. All right, I just wanted somebody to validate that I'm not making this stuff up.
No, it happened. I was there. That's an average day at
this
Dragon
time.
Love it. All right, I want to get to know each of you a little bit better. Cameron, we're coming back to you, and I've changed one of the questions that we ask. So,
I've heard.
Here we go. What? Please tell me where you're from, what you do, and what makes you nerdy.
My name's Cameron. I live in Austin with my wife and son and a dog who got some barks out of his system right as you introduced me a minute ago. And during the day for a handful of years now, I've had a couple of different part-time hats over the years, but the main constant throughout most of this time has been being the main stay-at-home parent and the one taking the kid to the doctors and whatnot. Something that makes me nerdy is that in addition to what I just said, I have also been spending some time working towards my second graduate seminary degree. And I'm at the point where I can write a thesis, and I've picked a topic on trying to explore a theology of recreation.
Oh.
And I won't claim that pub trivia is taking up like a huge chapter or anything like that, but it's definitely making an appearance in at least a couple sentences therein of some beauty within leisure and play and rest and all of that fun stuff.
That's
I've
really
got
cool.
a suggestion for your thesis title.
What
I
have
know
you
you're
got?
not going to use it, but The God of Trivia. I know it doesn't match what's going to be in the thesis, but it's eye-catching. No, it's ear-catching.
There you go. There you go.
It's just catching.
I'll credit you. You know what? Maybe I should try and find a way to mention Jonathan Oakes by name in there. We'll see what happens.
I want to be in somebody's thesis. That'd be great.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd like 95 of them, please.
Hey.
Cameron, it is great to have you here. Thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for letting me be here.
Leah, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and what makes you nerdy.
Hi, I'm Leah Popielinski. I live in Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm the managing editor for Geeks Who Drink. Which if we were still doing, say something cool about yourself, that would still have been it. Actually, it works for what's nerdy.
It works
about
for
me
nerdy too. But do you have anything else?
Sure. So the sort of the root of my doing trivia on a full-time basis started in Second Life, which is
the
probably
video
the
game.
nerdiest. So yeah, it's kind of like a video game, but it's unstructured. So some people refer to it as a game, some people refer to it as an MMORPG, but it's a virtual world because there are games in it. You can create a video game type environment in it. But most people just shop and go to clubs. And so, dress up your avatar, make it look fancy, or like a mushroom or a dragon or whatever you want it to look like. But mostly I go to trivia events there. So lots of,
cool.
It's not a huge community compared to what we've got out here in the real world. Sure. But there are people who write their own quizzes and present it to other people, most of whom also write their own quizzes and present it to each other. And you can actually win very, 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 very small amounts of money doing it. So, maybe like a penny per question is probably what the exchange rate ends up being. So I was doing trivia in Second Life for about 10 years before I even started working at Geeks Who Drink. So, and I'm not putting time into making quizzes in SL anymore, but I still go in and I play other people's. So yeah. So that's it doesn't get a whole lot nerdier than SL.
I was going to say that is
Really
one of the
cool.
nerdiest answers, and my God, I love it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. I love it. Love it.
Find what you love in the place where you're hanging out. I love it.
Right.
That's fantastic. Leah, thank you for being here.
You bet.
Noah, please tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and what makes you nerdy.
Yes, I am from Atlanta, Georgia, a longtime resident here. I'm a cloud systems engineer, which is big fancy words for a guy that just makes sure that everything in people's cloud infrastructure is up and running and all the applications work properly. And something nerdy about me, we were just talking about DragonCon earlier, which is the huge convention once a year in Atlanta here. And I and my wife are such big nerds, I proposed to her at DragonCon.
That's awesome.
And so as sort of a way of celebrating it, we go back every year. We both do cosplay. We go to our different panels, but it's kind of also like a semi little anniversary for us every year. So we definitely go every year for all to start on Wednesday and we leave on Monday. So it's a full commitment for us.
Were you in cosplay when you proposed?
No, because that was like our first or second time actually going, so we hadn't really gotten into the whole thing. But I think recently, you can actually on the camera see of my head, that is my Helldiver helmet when I did a full Helldiver cosplay recently. So,
nice.
And then the wife is more on the fabric side, so she can make pretty much whatever costume she wants.
All right, guys, it is time to get things started right now. We're going to have a great time. We're going to get started with Warm It Up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
Hooray!
Erin, over to you.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I found a list. Hello.
Hello.
And I will start by saying this list was current as of January 10th of this year, but I do not believe it has changed much, so don't at me. All of my tabs are in a weird place. I have here a list of every musical artist who has spent 30 or more weeks on the Billboard Hot 100.
Ooh.
Name them. Yeah.
Oh,
So again, as of January of this year, these are all artists that have spent 30 or more weeks. I do not believe any new ones have entered the top. It's 19 artists. I don't believe any have entered the top 20 in the last 3 months.
This is of all time.
All time?
All time.
And this
All
is
time.
just individual artists, not bands.
No,
She didn't say
artist
that.
bands, everybody.
and I heard you say there's only 19. So is this like 30 weeks in a row, I'm assuming? Maybe okay. Well,
30 weeks total.
we'll see if I'm on the right wavelength here, but my first guess will be Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, 98 weeks at
Okay.
number one.
That for you guys who aren't sure, I can confirm that's a lot of freaking weeks.
That's
Yeah,
a lot of
Let me
weeks.
also correct myself. So my bad. This is the Billboard 200. So this is the albums.
Albums.
Oh,
which-
crossing that off.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Because I'm looking at the list. I'm like, this isn't right. Yeah.
Like the one album for at least 30 weeks.
Not necessarily one album. Artists with the most
Combined.
number one.
Combined.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Now that I got my own question right, Lee, what do you got?
Let's try Madonna.
Madonna is not on the list.
Ooh,
Whoa.
crossing that off.
How is that possible? Wow.
Guess it's a high bar.
It's the Hot 200. So there's literally 200 albums on the list every week.
She's number
Yeah.
one. Did I not say that?
No. Oh.
Top of the
Oh.
chart. I definitely said.
You said
I
number one
definitely
for
said top
Taylor.
of the chart.
Oh.
There's 200 albums on the list, but only one of them is number one. Noah.
I'm going to go with my default. Anytime there's a Billboard top, stay there the longest answer and say the Beatles.
Beatles, 132 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Oh.
weeks.
All right. Chris, what do you got?
Mr. Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks, number 4, 52 weeks. Jonathan.
Drake.
Drake. I didn't number these. He is on the list with 37 weeks. Cameron.
Not to beat a dead horse, but when you said Taylor Swift, what number was she at? Or
She's
did
number
you-
2.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson is on the list with 51 weeks. Top the Billboard Hot 200.
Okay.
Lee?
Can I try Whitney Houston, please?
You
Yeah.
can and you should. 46 weeks.
Mhm.
Top of the chart.
I just wrote that down.
Yep.
I'm banking on some of that being the Bodyguard soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Oh, come on.
Noah.
I'm going with the King, Elvis.
It's like
The
our March.
King, indeed. He is number 3, 67 weeks.
Nice.
Chris.
Man, everybody took what I wrote down, so I'm on struggle bus street right now. So let's see here. Let's say Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd, not on the list.
Okay.
Sorry,
Good
sir.
guess, though, Chris. Good guess.
I had to give some answer. If not, I was just gonna be like,
That's been
Yeah.
me in Learned League this season. All right, Jonathan, we're back to you.
I'm going to try the Bee Gees.
Not on the list.
oh, Jonathan's not staying alive.
Man, they were dominant for a 5-year stretch. I thought they might have got there.
Not that dominant. Cameron.
Okay, let's try something, because I had Whitney Houston, but I didn't explicitly think The Bodyguard, and my mind's going to 90s movies now. So I'm going to try Celine Dion.
Alas, you would expect, but she is not on the list.
Oh!
I thought that was a really good guess.
I have my answer has sunk into the water.
Green Day?
Nope.
Okay.
Chris, you got an American Idiot joke for us?
Not yet, but I could be a Canadian idiot for you.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Noah.
Let's go Beyonce. She seems like she's always on.
Oh, great answer.
Yeah.
You would think, but she's not. You guys are a little bit, and I do wonder to what extent the age of streaming has affected these stats. I will say that.
Oh yeah.
That's a good question.
If Drake was on there, then anybody could be current.
Yeah,
he was.
Okay.
He was 37 weeks. I know. I'm trying to give you a hint, is all I'm saying. Chris.
I'm picking something up there, yeah.
Yeah. She's saving all her love for you. Let's see here. So, I mean, I really thought, Beyonce was a good answer. I was thinking about Jay-Z, but now that Erin's kind of twisted and turned into the us a little bit, I'm going to not say that, and I am going to go with let's go with Will Smith.
Oh, interesting guess. Incorrect, but interesting guess.
All right.
Yeah. Jonathan.
I did not get jiggy with it.
Before I give my answer, I did take a quick peek. The Bee Gees had 29 weeks at number one. Saturday Night Fever had 24 weeks, and another album had 5 weeks. They were one away. Damn it. It's so close.
And I think with the Hot 200, staying on there for multiple weeks is hard because there's always new stuff coming out. So, you have to have I think a lot of albums over a long period of time.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm going to I'm gonna do the opposite of what you just said, which is probably stupid. I'm gonna go with somebody who had an album that was huge for 2 full years and say Alanis Morissette.
Nope.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Good album,
I was
though.
taking a risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
right.
You ought to know, Jonathan. You ought to know.
It does not get bigger than Jagged Little Pill. That thing was massive.
Cameron.
Okay, let's try this terrain. In Sync?
No.
Oh, what am I doing?
I will tell you, it is bumming me out that I told you to go older and you're only in the 90s. Makes me feel old.
Inch by inch.
30 years ago, Erin.
No, they were making music before the 90s.
In Sync? In general, yeah.
Someone with a long career and probably a lot of albums. Elton John.
Elton John with 39 weeks.
Nice.
Remember Elton John.
There we go.
What a doofus. My favorite artist.
That's
Noah.
I know these guys had a ton of albums up there. So U2.
Nope, U2 not
Really?
on the list. Mm-mm.
Chris's favorite band. Or secular band. Yep.
Chris.
Erin, I'm going to go with
Yo.
the Man in Black, Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash is not there.
Dang.
And Jonathan, bring us home.
Struggle Bus.
As soon as you said Elton John, there's another artist who is tied to him in my mind. I'm going to say Stevie Wonder.
Alas. Not on the list.
Wow.
Oh, nope. Stevie Wonder's not right. Here are the ones that you missed. With
All of them?
30, Mariah Carey and the Eagles.
Oh, of course.
Dang it!
Eagles.
Oh, come on.
35, Prince and Eminem.
I had Prince written down, and I thought just one album, and I don't think it was there for longer than Jagged Little Pill, so I went the other direction.
37, The Monkees and Harry Belafonte.
Holy.
Really? I thought about the Monkees, but I was like, no, there's no way. They only had like really 3 albums that like were pop.
Hey,
Oh
hey.
my gosh.
Do you count the albums after they grew into gorillas?
Bum.
38, Fleetwood Mac, and I can't believe no one said the Rolling Stones.
Just wrote that one down.
I
What
thought
was on
about
my
the Rolling
list?
Stones, but I really didn't think that they'd been on the album list that long.
Yeah.
They were,
But Fleetwood Mac, because Rumors alone, because Rumors is in the
Fleetwood Mac
top
for
5
sure.
best-selling albums of all time. Dadgummit. Oh, I'm an
But I
idiot.
feel like it charted again recently when that guy was singing Dreams and drinking ocean spray on the skateboard or something. Like, and that's also one of the best albums ever.
the Rolling Stones were extremely prolific during the 60s. So that's probably why, like from 61 to 69, they were number one constantly. And that's probably why we're not thinking of them.
With 40 Weeks, Adele.
I had her on my list.
Hello.
Current streaming era.
Yeah, but they weren't. I was trying to nudge you back towards like the Stones. Help me help you, buddy.
I'm not throwing shade. I'm just observing.
No, I know. I was just desperate to find a way to say go older without just saying go older. 42 Weeks, Morgan Wallen.
Okay.
Oh,
very current.
Well, how about that?
And 46 Weeks, the highest one you guys didn't get, the Kingston Trio.
Oh, wow.
I never would have guessed
All right.
that.
Old school. Old school.
Okay. Hey, that was fun. What happens next, Jonathan?
The only one that was on my list out of every other right answer was
The
Prince.
Kingston Trio, right?
The Weeknd, Billy Joel, Hootie and the Blowfish, Rihanna, Crosby, Stills and Nash. None of them. None of them.
Queen. No Queen?
No. Wow.
No Queen.
All right, guys. Thank you, Erin. I hope that we are all sufficiently lukewarm here. This is going to be episode number 578. That means we are on the main feed. Shout out to everybody. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you listening. We have a lot more Trivial Warfare for you if you would like it. Head over to trivialwarfarearmy.com, sign up as a sergeant or higher, and you will get access to our archive of over 400 shows. Sign up as a lieutenant or higher, and you start accruing credit for the chance to come on the show in the future, just like these fine people. Except for Chris and Erin, they are here because they are working. Thank you for you fine people as well.
Because Jonathan makes us.
Jonathan begs you. That's a very different thing.
He
than
asks nicely.
Yes. I think we're going to have an awesome show today. It is going to be Jonathan and Noah versus Chris, Leah, and Cameron. Erin is hosting, and it's time to play the game.
Players!
Oh yeah. You know what time it is. This is Mr. Warm It Up himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia yumminess. 3 questions per round. Every right answer will get you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all of those points that you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions that we get to call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
Yes, let's. All right. Round 1, as always, these are things that have happened recently in this year of our Lord 2026. It is currently March. And your first question is in breaking news. In an investigation published in early March 2026, Robin Guggenheim was identified as the most likely real name of what Oscar-nominated artist?
You said Guggenheim, but it looks like it's pronounced Gunningham.
I think I said Guggenheim, but yes, it's Gunningham.
Okay. Okay, we're locked in.
All right.
Okay, so Cameron, Leo, we could talk it out on here.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Cameron. So Cameron, you mentioned Banksy and
Or produced by him.
yeah.
Yep.
So
yeah.
So I need a little convincing because the Oscar part of that's throwing me out. So you mentioned something interesting in the chat. So talk about that real quick.
I'll let Leah start.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, like I have definitely heard two names applied to Banksy recently. One of them is Robin something. The other is more generic, but is supposedly a different alias that he used to work under, or vice versa. One of those things. Unfortunately, I don't like Robin Gunningham. Sounds like it was definitely long and started with G.
Okay.
But
all right.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think we're all being thrown by the Oscar part because but Cameron suggested an Oscar-related angle that I think is interesting.
Yeah, well, I like this even more now that you mentioned you knew it was Robin G something as the last initial. But when I hear when I heard the category of recently in stuff, basically, my mind was ready to mention Oscars in some way, shape, or form anyway. So if this is an investigation published in early March, aka Oscar season, I would not be surprised that there is a article talking about a famous person who might or might not be first and foremost known for acting, but still has a Oscar-centric approach. And it also occurs to me there's plenty of people who have won Oscars who you might not think. I mean, Kobe Bryant won an Oscar for Dear Basketball, or I think that's what it was called a handful of years back. So while I don't have the personal knowledge I'm hearing you say, Leah, the position I'm in, I'm feeling secondhand thunder based on what y'all are graciously talking about.
Meow, meow.
Yeah, I mean, I would never, I nowhere near meow.
I just like secondhand thunder as a term.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I wanted to kind of argue this, but I like the thought process by you two, and I am now conceding, especially since this is question 1. So if you want to go ahead and answer
That's
Banksy, let's do it.
Let's go Banksy.
Okay.
Let's lock in
All right.
Banksy.
Yep.
Noah and Jonathan, what did y'all say?
Couldn't think of any actors that would have kind of that alias name. So I was like, well, I know there's a good number of people that have won Oscars. We went to music categories. And then I remembered that I'd read about the Banksy article, and then I was like, oh yeah, he was nominated, I'm pretty sure, for I think it was either documentary or mockumentary called Exit Through the Gift Shop. And it was by the way, if you haven't seen it, phenomenal movie. But I read that article, and then I've seen Exit Through the Gift Shop. I think it's like a modern commentary on modern art and the obsession with modern artists like Banksy and stuff. So we went ahead and locked in with Banksy.
Great. You took all my flavor text, and shout out to the chat who also got there. It was Exit Through the Gift Shop was nominated but did not win, and that was about Banksy.
Nice.
Wow.
All right.
Yay.
Great job, you two. Yeah.
Because the Oscars just happened, I think all of us were like, okay, who was nominated in this year's Oscars? And it took a good couple of minutes to reset and like, oh, she's talking about an investigation. Well, what is this question?
Surprise. All right. Question 2. I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
Ooh.
After years of back and forth with Iran, California, and not the UAE, is now the largest producer of what tree nut? California does not have the ideal climate for this nut, but industry has popularized the nut in an effort to support the increased supply.
Leah, say those magical words for us.
Okay, we are locked in.
I would agree with you, Noah. I don't think it's lug nuts either.
I'm pretty sure it's not lug nuts. So.
Could it be D's
agree.
nuts?
That was the next one on the line. Yeah, Jonathan, I'm with you on that. I know I've heard this. It was a recent I read somewhere, and it's not one of the common ones you first think of. So what you would suggest it makes sense.
I'm just thinking, so we're talking about macadamia nut, and I'm specifically the end of the question. The industry has popularized the nut in an effort to support the increased supply. So essentially, there's a nut that wasn't big in different food products in the past, and now because they're making so many of these nuts, they're trying to cram it into everything so that you are eating more of it. That seems to fit the trajectory of macadamia nuts in the last 20 years or so. So I think that's, and I remember some connection to the Middle East, but I don't know where exactly. But I think macadamia nuts probably our best answer.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, we're going to lock in.
All right. Leah, Cameron, and Chris.
Yeah, we had a pretty spirited conversation, and I like Leah really had a thumbprint on this, and I liked one of her ideas, and then she gave another idea which kind of spawned on a bunch of stuff. So, and it also spurns on something that my wife really likes to buy and eat quite a bit. So, Leah, talk about your thoughts on it.
Yeah, well, my first guess was hazelnuts because I know that there's one specific Middle Eastern country, and I don't know which one it is that pretty much has a complete lock on hazelnuts. But then
It's Turkey, by the way.
Okay, cool. That's yeah, all right. It's not quite Middle East, but ish. But then the UAE. Well, I don't know where pistachios actually came into my mind, but as soon as I thought of them, I thought, oh, Starbucks and all these other things are pushing something called Dubai chocolate, which has something to do with pistachios.
Right.
It's like a chocolate and pistachio kind of thing.
Yeah, it looks gross.
Yeah, and so since UAE is in the question and is standing out there as a hint, because in trivia, if it's in parentheses, it's probably more important than the rest of the question, which is the opposite of the rest of writing. Yeah. So that made us feel stronger about Dubai, about pistachios because of the Dubai link. So we went with pistachios.
Cool.
Yeah, for all the reasons you guys figured out, it is the pistachio. I went down quite a rabbit hole about this the other day. It's kind of interesting. And I don't know. I mean, Starbucks has like pistachio everything now. Wonderful pistachios have been advertised more and more recently in the last couple of years. Like everyone's trying to push them, and it's because, well, I don't know why. It's because I'm not a world global strategist person, but it is interesting that was one of Iran's major exports, and they were the world leader in it until recently. So that is a fun fact. I like pistachios.
Yeah, Angie, I was mentioning in the chat. Angie has a bag of pistachios out in the kitchen that says California grown. So
the wonderful brand is grown in California.
I just now remember the Super Bowl commercials in the past couple of years that have come up for pistachios, and I was like, dang it.
Chris said California grown, and I spelled that GROAN when he said it. I'm like, the California grown.
Grown.
Pistachios.
Oh, gone.
Okay. Round 1, question 3. Your category is sports.
Sports ball.
Sports.
Despite having the 13th toughest schedule, what NCAA basketball team went undefeated in the regular season for the 11th time in 2026?
They did it 11 times in 2026?
You know what I mean. When I wrote this question, I'd have specified the year. I'm just trying to make it evergreen.
The question doesn't specify men's or women's. Does it matter?
Question does not specify men's or women's.
Okay. We're locking in.
All right. Chris, Cameron, and Leah, talk it out.
All right. So none of the men's number 1 seeds, just to let you know, are undefeated.
Great. And now that Leah wisely pointed out that I had horse blinders on of looking at just one of the brackets, if we've eliminated the men and it's name a women's basketball team that has been undefeated 10 times prior to 2026, one answer screams out at me.
I perhaps should have asked that in chat. I'm sorry that I didn't do that. Maybe it wouldn't have made a difference. Who knows?
It is all cool in the gang. I'd rather be on equal footing, so I think that was perfectly reasonable.
Yeah.
So who said UConn women? Was it?
I did. I know one of the other number 1 seeds is Texas. They're not undefeated though. I do believe South Carolina is another number 1 seed, and Texas beat them at one point.
Yep.
Off the top of my head, I don't remember the 4th one, but we've just narrowed it down to, even if we didn't know anything, we have a 50-50 chance of UConn being the right answer. And I mean, I feel more than 50% based on what I do know about this.
The only concern I have is that, and just hear me out real quick,
Sure.
And then we can. I still want to lock in with UConn, but just the only concern I have is that I just read a stat that I think it was Miami of Ohio, or it was one of the smaller men's teams, was undefeated and then won a tournament game. Now, I'm not 100%. I think it was Miami of Ohio. I think, but like I said, that's my only concern, is it might be one of those smaller teams that went undefeated throughout the season and is in it, but not necessarily going to be a number 1 team because they're not in the Big Six.
the equivalent of in college football, how sometimes the teams from a lesser known conference can go undefeated, you're saying.
Right.
But what comes to my mind there is Erin says, despite having the 13th toughest schedule.
Right.
And that, I mean, UConn is still Big East, right? Last I knew,
Oh, yeah.
I
are.
can, I mean, so like, I mean,
And
what's
they
the-
also go after all takers too. So I mean, it's just like they're not just playing just the Big East team. So
yeah,
I think UConn's our right answer. I really do.
I agree.
let's
All
lock
right.
in with UConn women if we need to be precise.
Love it. All right. Noah and Jonathan.
Noah, the more they talked, the less good I felt because it kept like pointing me towards details of the question that I ignored because you said you had it, and I was like, "Cool, I'm just good." And they're
Good,
saying this
very
like,
good.
"Oh, that doesn't feel good." Oh no, I didn't see that part of the question.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think we're right.
I mean, I know somewhat of college basketball. I remember reading that Miami of Ohio had made an undefeated run in regular season and then lost their conference championship, and then they were arguing about where they would get into the bracket. So I know for a fact that they did. Then the 11th time I was just like, maybe I don't know. But then again, I also know that people have complained that they usually don't play that tough a schedule, but then we saw the tough, I'm back and forth.
The 13th toughest schedule is when I really said, we're.
Yeah, I'll admit, I don't know much, even less about women's NCAA basketball. So that was the only team I knew that I had heard had done it this year. So that's the only thing I could have put forth.
Okay. I am in the process is almost a decade-long crusade to get my players to learn about hockey, and now I'm trying to get them to learn about women's sports. The Miami, Ohio men's team did go undefeated this season. It is the second time they have done it, and their strength of schedule, according to this website I just found, was 269th in the country.
Hey, that's not their fault.
No. Going undefeated for the 11th time in college history is the UConn women's team, the Lady Huskies.
Wow.
Yeah. They're quite
good job, guys. Really good job.
Yeah. Again, Leah, just well done. Yeah.
I was going to nosedive. The wrong way if it wasn't for that pivot.
Good job.
Yeah, you said that. I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's going to affect anything. And it didn't. After the first rounds, the scores are Chris, Cameron, and Leah with 30, Jonathan and Noah with 10. Still anybody's game. Round 2, question 1. Your category is It's Not Easy. Demand notes. Okay.
Yeah, hold on just a second. I wanted to take a quick second with that.
You did, and no one said anything.
No, that was almost instantaneous.
All right.
Oh, no. Okay. I think we're in totally different places.
All right.
So let's not do anything there.
Oh.
No.
Okay. Nope. We're not doing anything either.
Yeah. Not yet.
Demand notes and United States notes were the two forms of what type of currency which were issued during the Civil War. Unlike modern currency, they were not supported by gold or silver reserves, but by the pinky swear of the federal government. You'll get 90 seconds.
Okay, we'll lock in.
Great. I need an answer from the other team as well. We're at time.
Okay. Yeah. So, guys, unless you have a Hail Mary, which is out in theaters now, as a matter of fact, I say we go with greenbacks.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Because we don't have something more solid. Because it fits the it's not easy clue.
Yeah.
I don't have a word for this, but now and then I feel there's a trivia question where I wish we had the mechanic where once a game we could submit 2 answers just in case one of them is right. And this feels like this is what we would do with the 2 we have.
And then the second one, you get 5 points instead of 10. Yeah. So, Erin, we're locking in with greenbacks. And just to let you guys know, this is if we get it wrong, it's my fault. If we get it right, it's the whole team's idea.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So
Noah and Jonathan.
So Noah, I hope it's not greenbacks. My understanding of a greenback is it's a description of a specific piece of money. Like there's a specific money that had a greenback, and so they called them greenbacks. I wouldn't think that it would be both sides of the conflict. Maybe it is, but didn't feel right.
Yeah, that was the only thing I could think of. At first, I was thrown off. I think I misread the question as what were the two forms of currency, and I left out the of what type. And I think at that point, I would have fought a bit harder for greenback. But even that, it wasn't. I wasn't too. That was the only thing. The clue, it fit the clue, and that was the only reason I could think of that.
I'm worried that this is something as simple as paper currency. But at the end of the day, the word notes took us to something like a bond. So we answered bonds.
Okay. So yeah, the hint here was in the category. They were printed in green ink. They were issued by the United States during the American Civil War. They were greenbacks.
Wow.
Hey.
So both of these things are examples of greenbacks. Okay.
Yeah, those are the two types.
I guess that's where we get the word from.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess so.
I'm allowed to miss every other question. I'm good for the rest of the day. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Chris is going to the beach.
Sorry, Noah. I probably made that worse for you.
No, I should have fought a bit more, but I wasn't sure exactly. I remember hearing the term greenback, but I couldn't historically place it.
I would have sworn pinky swear was going to be a clue. It's such a little unusual wording for the question, and that's such a hint for you to have a clue there.
Yeah, sorry. I say pinky swear all the time. Round 2, question 2. Your category is idioms. The phrase green-eyed monster as a synonym for envy first appears in what Shakespearean tragedy? Ira Aldridge, who also played the title role in plays like Richard III while in Whiteface, was one of the first actors to portray this title character without the need for additional makeup.
Hey, Jonathan, Leah's got meow meows.
I have meows. Oh yeah, we're locked in.
All right.
All right.
Okay, Noah. So they're talking about a black actor who wore whiteface and was the first able to do it without makeup. It's probably going to be Othello. Wasn't Othello
that would be the best guess I would have. You seem to have more thunder on this than I did. Shakespeare's kind of a dark area for me, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Othello is of Moorish descent and is a black character. So, Green-Eyed Monster, I thought maybe it would end up Merchant of Venice, but the rest of it made me think Othello.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right, we'll say Othello.
Great. Leah, what'd you have?
Oh yeah. I was writing Othello immediately after first appears in what tragedy. Yeah, I might have started writing it even after just the green-eyed monster part. Yeah, Iago, I think, says it. It's it's a play all about envy and Othello being envious of Michael Cassio is his downfall. He never had anything to worry about with Desdemona, and that's what it's all about. So it's Othello, and everything about it. One would expect it to be a black actor, but of course, until recent history, it was not. Is also true.
The plot sounds very relevant to the real world and the way that our narcissistic folks out there in the world are interacting with everybody else.
Say more, Jonathan.
Yeah, right. That sounds very relevant to problems of today.
Waiting for it to be their downfall.
Yeah, right.
We should be so lucky.
We should be.
I mean, yeah, Leah, that was my flavor. That wasn't even my flavor. That was more than my flavor. That was more than I knew about the play. But your answer is going to be Othello. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice job.
Before the question was even finished being read, Leah locked in.
On it. Your next question, which I guess is also our next question, comes to us from Tracy Snelson. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy.
Your category is basically a meme. Which organelle boasts the only location that a certain type of material is stored outside the nucleus, was the first significant part of the human genome to be sequenced, and in humans is inherited almost exclusively from the mother?
Okay, we're going to lock in.
Okay.
All right. Real quickly, we have about 10 seconds. So, Cameron, if you have another idea other than what we've given.
No, but I'm not quite sure what we've given. What is our current answer in pencil?
Egg.
Yeah, I think egg is the only thing that we've tossed out that comes anywhere close to.
All right, it's about to be in pen because your time is up.
Yes, I like how that fits with what we have. I'm okay locking
Okay.
in with egg if y'all still like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm okay with
Well,
it.
we have no choice. We got to lock in.
That's what we're locking in with.
All right, Jonathan and Noah.
I sure hope that they misread the question and that we didn't misread the question, because we're looking for organelles. Is there an egg inside of a cell? No, I think y'all don't have to
I don't
answer. I don't know. I don't know either. If there is, I'm disappointed in myself.
Take us to school. How did you interpret this?
We don't have a good answer. We have, so there were two directions we went, and the first is assuming that we're talking about genetic material. She didn't say that in the question. She just said a certain type of material. Assuming we're talking about DNA, which is deoxyribonucleic acid. I'm like, hey, ribosome is an organelle. It has ribo in the name. Deoxyribonucleic acid has ribo in the name. I don't know that this is good logic at all, but there's a connection there. Noah, we didn't go with that. Can you explain the logic for what we did go with, please? Which I'm supportive of. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, we started the chat off. I was just making the joke. I was like, well, I know it's not the mitochondria because the only thing I know about that is it's the powerhouse of the cell, because that's the running joke or meme, if you will. And then she read the category again. I go, oh, is that the tie-in? Is it the mitochondria? Because I mean, I work with computers. I don't work with bodies, so I'm kind of like.
But a long-running joke. It's a meme, right?
That was a slightly stronger tie than the ribo, but between those two, you and I were just flipping a coin, and I think we decided to stay with mitochondria, and so we locked in with mitochondria.
I thought this was going to be an insta-get. I think the chat thought it was going to be an insta-get too, because when I say meme and then I say organelle, apparently everyone in the universe except for the 5 of you goes, oh, it's the mitochondria. So I'm glad one team got there, but I wish you both had.
I don't know the meme part, and it's science, so I had no freaking clue.
What is the definition of organelle?
Yeah, the problem for us was we spent most of the time trying to figure out what an organelle was.
An organelle is a little structure inside of a cell.
Yeah, It's subcellular.
Subcellular.
So a nucleus is an organelle.
So it's not a small organ like the Pluto of organs, basically.
It comes just before the organ-M.
Ah.
See, I heard I heard the word is gargamel, so that's where I messed up on.
All right.
Nor is it a small pipe instrument.
True story.
Yeah. That was a big, it's basically a 20-point swing, big pickup for Jonathan and Noah. After the second round, Chris, Cameron, and Leah have 50 points. Jonathan and Noah have 30 points. Y'all, it is 3:05, and I would love to be out of here by 5, so we're going to pick it up a little bit if that's okay.
Yep.
Round 3, question 1. Your category is, Richard Hatch, the first ever Survivor winner, has also served a total of 60 months in prison for failing to do what after he won?
Chris, between the two of us, do we have thunder?
I know. Yes. If I was by myself, that's my answer. So lock it in.
We're locked in, y'all. Leah, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
This, by the way, the second writing of that word, Erin, not the first one. Two completely different meanings.
Okay. Got it.
On our side, pretty quickly, I said pay taxes. Noah said declare his winnings. Oh, those are the same thing. So he didn't pay taxes on his winnings from Survivor.
Okay. Leah, Chris, Cameron, what did you guys type?
I wrote tax invasion.
Different thing.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
But that is not what we locked in with, fortunately.
It's a new video game. Yes. But no, what we locked in with was tax evasion, not invasion, but evasion. Yep. Taxes, however, feel like an invasion every year anyway. So.
And how? The chat noted he also failed to put on his pants, but in this case, he went to jail for failing to pay taxes on his winnings. Yay!
Oh, sure. He doesn't go to jail for it, but when I don't put mine on, I go to jail for it.
In all fairness, he was on an island on TV, so there is that.
Yeah. Why not? I will tell you guys, I wrote a whole round on Survivor a couple weeks ago, and I really liked all the questions. So we're about to get a hit of Survivor questions. I think they're going to work for people who don't love the show. We're going to find out. Round 3 category, round 3 question 2. Category is cross promotions.
Cross promotions.
A man named Jimmy has a crossover on the current season of Survivor, perhaps in an attempt to broaden the audience of the show. Jimmy has his own reality TV show, which is available on Prime. What name is Jimmy more commonly known by?
Erin, I'm going to ask you a question. You can choose not to answer it if you wish.
Okay.
Are you implying, when you say has his own reality TV show, are you implying that Jimmy is the host of a show? And you don't have to answer that if you don't want to.
Jimmy has his own reality TV show.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's me declining to answer, yeah.
And I do believe we are locked in.
Okay.
Okay.
Talk it out.
No, I don't watch many reality TV shows.
I
I
don't
certainly
either.
haven't been watching any on Prime. Colin Jost hosts Pop Culture Jeopardy, and Jimmy is on the Clue crew for Jeopardy. So there's that, I think. I don't think that's the answer.
Yeah, the only other Jimmy that came to mind is the British comedian Jimmy Carr, who hosts an astronomical number of shows. Most of them are on BritBox or BBC.
Okay, so I got an idea here. And I don't have an idea for an answer, but I can narrow us down. It's not going to be somebody we know as Jimmy.
Okay, well then,
What name is Jimmy more commonly known by? It's going to be a pseudonym.
James
Hold on. What about Jimmy Fallon? Well, that's not a pseudonym, obviously, but Jimmy Fallon hosts like Name That Tune, doesn't he, or something like that?
He's got that. He's got his Tonight Show, but I don't think he does.
No,
I'm not
he
sure
was.
if he does.
He definitely hosted a Name That Tune show. I remember seeing it.
Is that reality TV though, or is that game show? Does that count as the same?
Can you tell the difference? I can't, but you're probably right. That's more of a game show.
What about a sports athlete?
Yeah, sure. Name one.
That are Jimmy or James. Unless it's like JJ Watt. Does that J stand for Jimmy or James?
90 seconds.
It could be a total pseudonym. Like, do we have anything where somebody, like, is Jimmy Marshmallow's name? Or is Jimmy from, like, come on, Jonathan. I'm looking at Amazon Prime in my mind, and I'm seeing Soul Power, the ABA documentary, which I'm enjoying. Or
oh no, that's not Prime. That's Netflix. That wouldn't be it.
Okay. 30 seconds.
Seeing Rings of Power, and I'm seeing. I don't ever click on reality TV shows, so it's in and out for me. I don't know, man. I don't know.
The only ones coming to mind are like the Love Is Blind stuff, but that's all Netflix. That's not Prime.
Is this like, what's the one, the car show with the three guys, Top Gear? Is Top Gear on Prime? You want to say Top Gear?
They had James on that show, so James May was on that show.
Sure, we'll say James May, because she needs an answer, and we don't have one.
All right. They said James May. Chris, Cameron, and Leo, what did you guys say?
Well, if I didn't know this, I would like James May because I think that checks some boxes here. For some reason, Survivor has circled back into our TV watching habits, and I think this is new for this season that's out right now. They have special guests sort of just coming in for a day or two. So on the episode we recently watched, Zach Brown showed up, and he ate some dinner and sang some tunes with the winning tribe of that contest. And on a TV, what am I trying to say? I haven't watched. Yeah, on a preview next time on Survivor or whatnot. There is a guy who is showing up at some point who I don't know his name. I don't know him first and foremost through Prime, but Chris confirmed that one of his latest entertainment antics is on Prime. So we're hoping that Jimmy is the government first name, or James is, of Mr. Beast.
His government name is, I assume, James Donaldson. His internet name is Mr. Beast. He's the guy that gives away lots of money. As my friend Dan pointed out, I feel like Mr. Beast, you used the word antics. I feel like Mr. Beast is like 2 steps away from hunting people for sport and getting lots of money for it. His show on Prime, Beast Games, is fascinating. And I don't know that I'm saying that in a complimentary way, but I really enjoy watching it. But yeah, it is Mr. Beast.
Okay.
Noah, it's right there at the intersection of game show and reality TV, but we were nowhere close.
I was not going to get to him.
It's essentially Squid Games, except without killing people at this point.
But the question said Jimmy has his own reality show, which reads to me, this show falls in the same intersection as Survivor does anyway. I don't think y'all needed to split the atom in that regard.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have helped. We didn't have it.
He also did do a Survivor, Probst. Jeff Probst showed up in an episode of Beast Games in the second season. So it was like a weird cross-promotional. I think Survivor is struggling and they're trying to bring in the youth. So they got Mr. Beast.
Not surprised. They're 1 billion years old.
It's the 50th season, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just like they're trying to do something. And I get it.
Yeah. I'll watch it eventually.
Do something. Like, stop making it.
Please.
Well, it's Survivor, so if they need some sharks to jump, they could actually just go out into the water and find some sharks.
Actually jump over sharks.
Yeah, literally jump over sharks.
To round 3, question 3, your category is a different cross promotion. I'm bad at coming up with category names, y'all. Survivor the Tribe Has Spoken is a card game collaboration with what other party card game, which is sure to diffuse the tension of boredom at your next social gathering?
Want to say the words, Leah?
Yeah, we're locking in.
Okay. Erin, could you repeat the category for us?
It's a different cross promotion. And one thing I will say is diffuse, DIFFUSE, is a typo in the written question. Defuse is what it is meant to be. It's not a sneaky hint.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're locked.
Great.
Well, crap, we were really hoping that defuse was a sneaky hint. So you're saying diffuse is not a sneaky hint, but defuse might be?
I'm saying diffuse is a typo. It should be DEFUSE is the word.
Okay. Noah, I don't know what that does to your thinking, but you liked defuse as a thing that involves getting rid of bombs or things that are going to blow up, such as kittens. Does that change your mind at all that it got called out as a typo with diffuse?
I'm struggling to remember which one's which. I'm like, did we correct it to the word or
the one that's listed there means to spread out and spread among. So by changing it to DEFUSE, that is the one that is getting rid of bombs or turning bombs off.
So I mean that. The only other like popular card game I can think of is your traditional like Cards Against Humanity, but that does, I mean, that could be it too, but that doesn't really kind of, you also in that game, you don't really get rid of players. People accrue points and then whoever has the most at the end. That doesn't really match.
Does Exploding Kittens get rid of players?
Yes, you do. Get rid of
I
players.
really like it for that then. That's a good tie-in. So you want to say that?
Yeah, we're going to go with Exploding Kittens.
Okay. Leah, Chris, and Cameron.
We also went with Exploding Kittens based on the same what we thought was I heard defuse in when Erin was reading the question aloud, and then in chat it got interpreted as diffuse, but so we that could have also been a pun on defuse. So we stuck with Exploding Kittens based on the likelihood of there being a defusing of explosionary devices.
Yeah, I saw this game in a store. I saw this game in a store when I was looking around to see what was there, and didn't even give a thought to looking at it. So I'm hoping.
You saw Exploding Kittens or Survivor, or the combination?
Sorry, I saw the Survivor one, but I was like, I don't really give a flying rip about this. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, do I want to call attention to diffuse? But I didn't want you guys to look at the typo and think that was the hint. So diffuse, DIFFUSE, was not a sneaky hint. DEFUSE was the hint because your answer is Exploding Kittens and I have to sneeze. After 3 rounds, Chris, Cameron, and Leah have 80. Noah and Jonathan have 50. That brings us to the midpoint.
See, Noah, I told you we had to worry.
It's the struggle, that's for sure.
Your midpoint. Each question is worth 4 juicy points. As was identified in round 1, the Oscars happened on Sunday, and people won awards for things. Even though if you Google who won the Oscars in 2026, AI will tell you Nobody won, which is cool. I am going to give you 4 winners. You are going to tell me what category they won for in the 2026 Oscars, which happened last week.
So it's
Cool?
5 points each then.
4 points each, because I'm going to give you 5 of them. 4 points each. I'm going to give you the people that won the thing. The people or work that won the thing. So number 1, Golden. Number 2, Paul Thomas Anderson. Number 3, F1. Number 4, The Singers and Two People Exchanging Saliva. Number 5, Autumn Arkapaw.
Let's lock in. We're locked in.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So, can we talk about number 5, Autumn Arkapaw? Chris, I saw you mention Best Supporting Actress. I'm not familiar with this name. You could tell me it's a person. You could tell me it is a film. You could tell me it is a company.
Yeah, Leah had something on that though.
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't have anything on Autumn Arkapaw. It was The Singers and Two People Exchanging Saliva that we saw, and that's a live action short.
Okay. Yes.
We try to see as many of the shorts as we can. And we not all of them were available for streaming this. Well, they're not usually, but yeah, The Singers and Two People Exchanging Saliva was definitely, those are not documentaries. So I think Autumn Arkapaw was the one we weren't sure about.
Agreed, because we do think with high confidence, Golden won the Oscar for Best Song.
Yep.
Paul Thomas Anderson won a couple, but we're going to go with the one that he and only he won of Best Director.
Right.
F1, okay, was one of the sound Oscars. Which one did you say, Chris?
I said it was Best Sound Production, and which is what I think it is. So
Best Sound Production.
Yep.
Singers and Two People was live action short film.
Sorry, live action short. Okay, so
yes, yeah.
Too many
I can
shorts.
picture Kumail Nanjiani announcing this. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Autumn Arkapaw. Chris, when you said supporting, sorry.
No, I said this one's not ringing bells. Supporting actress went to the actress from Weapons. Is that?
Oh, that's right.
name?
Yeah. No, that was
Madigan. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, so that's not supporting actress.
Okay, since we need something, could Autumn Arkapaw be a documentary? Just to go back to that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do best documentary since we need to lock something in, and I got to use the bathroom.
Are we going with with feature documentary or short documentary?
That is an important distinction, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Feature? I'm flipping coins.
Well, I would lean toward feature using game theory because there probably aren't 2 questions on shorts.
On shorts, yes. Okay. So our answers, one more time, just for fun, is Golden, Best Song, Paul Thomas Anderson, Best Director, among others. F1 was Sound Production. The one with 2 winners is live action short, and Autumn Arkapaw, we're saying documentary, the full feature length. Best documentary, full feature length.
Okay. And Jonathan and Noah, what did you guys say?
Quickly, we said Best Original Song, Best Director. We don't know the appropriate name for the third one. We said Sound Design. We said Short Film, and we said Screenplay.
Okay. So the ones you guys agreed on: original song, Golden; best director, Paul Thomas Anderson, as well as others. I don't think I would have also accepted best screenplay. I don't think you can technically say that he won for best movie because everyone shares that award, but whatever.
Right.
F1, I think the Oscar is just best sound. I just did a cursory Google search and it looks like they've rolled it all into one. So best sound. The one that tied, and here's where I'm in a bit of a pickle and I don't know what I want to do. There are 2 short categories. There's live action, there's animated. Before I had a chance to prompt the team that had locked in, you guys started talking and said live action. So if I had prompted, you would have said live action. So I don't know what to do about that.
We're locked in with live action. So if that's not right, then
I'm not talking about you guys.
She's talking about us, dude.
Yeah. And the fun fact that I wanted to share with everybody, Autumn Arkapaw, neither of y'all got this, but that's okay. She won Best Cinematography. She is the third woman nominated and the first woman ever to win that award.
That's right. I read that article.
So if you heard the name, that's probably why.
I feel so dumb because I even looked her up right after to say it. I was like, first woman? Yeah, and I literally, I just, her name slipped my mind.
Going into the second half, Chris, Cameron, and Leah have 96. Jonathan and Noah have 66. We'll see if those 4 points come back to bite Chris, Cameron, and Leah in the ass at the end of the game. Round 4, question 1. We're still on my survivor kick.
Oh,
Your
God.
category is...
Boo!
I think these are talk outable. We'll see. Category is don't do that. Player contracts include liability of up to $5 million if they are caught doing what thing, which fuels the content creation industry.
Erin, a question for you, just to make sure we're understanding what you're trying to get us to understand here. Are you saying specifically that them doing whatever this thing is on the show fuels the content creation industry, or are you saying it fuels the content creation industry in a way that is separate from them doing it on the show?
There is no way for me to answer that question. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, we're going to lock in.
All right. You guys have about a minute to talk it out.
I just threw out there that the giveaway who the winner is, because again, I said it's recorded about like 3 or 4 months in the like ago. So I mean, they know who the winner is already.
Yeah,
but I don't understand the content creation part.
Yeah, I think what we're disagreeing about is how to define fueling the content creation industry. So I was interpreting it as more of a general thing, like these things fuel the content creation industry as a whole, things like self-made content and streaming and doing your own thing, publishing yourself without the network being involved, as opposed to having a specific piece of information that you want to scoop everybody else on because you know it best, which can certainly give you a boost in on your own social media for a short period of time, but it's not it's not the whole industry.
Well, we need to give an answer now, so we can't more discussion. It's past it. So.
I would be happy going with what I originally suggested and what Leah is still on board with, which and y'all can tell me if I butcher the wording here, but either through your own personal cell phone that you smuggled in, but like somehow having your own content from the island that you publish on your own channels above and beyond Survivor's permission. And you know what? If they are caught doing it, makes me think this must be something done during the show rather than after the fact.
All right. So recording content.
Or publishing self-made content?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does that sound like wording? Is everybody good with that wording?
As long as Erin doesn't say, I need you to be more specific.
I'm not going to prompt on that.
Locked in. Yes. Locked in.
All right. Jonathan and Noah, what did you guys say?
We said sex.
Hasn't that happened?
You can get caught. You can get caught having sex on camera. Sex is the biggest fuel for content creation industry. It could reference porn if you get caught doing porn after the fact. We could be any of those things. We didn't have a good answer. The question was hard to parse. We said sex.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, Jonathan, the reason I couldn't answer your question is because you included information in your question that wasn't part of the question. It had nothing to do with what they do when they're on the island, whether it's having sex, recording content, or anything like that. They are liable for up to $5 million if they spoil anything. Content creation.
Chris was right.
Yeah.
Content creation industry around spoilers is huge. Podcasts, TikToks, all that stuff. It's a pretty huge chunk of the reality TV industry.
If we had, our narrow answer was reveal the winner, but would that have been too specific?
You guys talked about recording content while they were on the island. That wasn't it. That wasn't
the other answer we were debating about was spoil the winner.
That would have been okay.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Sorry.
Good.
It's any spoilers, but I'm sure the more they reveal, the more trouble they're in.
The juicier spoil. Yeah.
All right. This is your last Survivor question. This is a nod for true fans of the show. Sorry, Jonathan. Category is don't do that either. During a tribal council in 2017, castaway Jeff Varner committed what he later described as an assault against fellow castaway Zeke Smith. What did Varner do?
Okay, we're locked in.
We're locked in.
All right. Noah and Jonathan, give you all about 90 seconds.
I am certain that he did not fart so directly in a direction that only one person was affected. I'm certain.
My gosh, that would be amazing.
I was just like
talented
at the fire making challenge.
Yeah, the fire challenge too.
All right, so I started with Nut Tap, which is totally viable as something that one dude would do to another when he's having to get up to go get his torch put out. Then we talked about ear flick a little bit, but Noah, where we're at right now, I like assault.
The only
slap.
thing
It's like, good job, dude. Slap him on the ass a little too hard. Ass is in the word assault, which is in quotes in the question. I like slapped it ass.
Yeah, it's the best I could come up with, kind of a like go get him champs kind of baseball-esque thinking level. But that's the best we had.
That's what we're gonna say.
Okay.
There was a controversial hug that happened, and I don't know if it was this season or if it was another season or whatnot. But I convinced Leah and Cameron to go with a unconsented hug is what we wrote on there.
Well, hug was on the table from the very beginning. Cameron suggested hug, but we didn't have any thunder on it until Chris weighed in and said, well, there was a controversial hug at some point. But a hug is something that you would totally do to somebody else without realizing that they didn't want it. And you might find out later this person is touch averse, or has so it's totally feasible that it could retroactively be, he could realize, oh wait, he really, really didn't like that. I guess I assaulted him. So for me, and that would be something you would put assault in quotation marks for, because only in certain circumstances is that an assault. So anyway,
okay,
we went with hug.
So the bad news is that's 10 more points to Orange Cat. The good news is this is the last of the Survivor questions.
Yay!
And there's much rejoicing.
Made the news in 2017 when it happened, I think, in some circles. Zeke Smith was trans, and Jeff Varner outed him at the tribal council. And that was what he determined was later an assault. It is a bit of a yuccoid if you aren't a big Survivor fan, and apparently none of you are. Sorry.
So I have very little knowledge.
Did Zeke reveal it on the island earlier, but just wasn't ready for it to be shared with Jeff Probst and the other folks at council?
I believe so. I'm not sure. It may have been a private conversation that they had. It may have been something that came up like tangentially, but that was not Jeff's thing to say. So, and anyone in the chat can correct me if they know more than I do. Yeah, don't do that. Don't out people. Round 4, question 3 comes to us from Debbie Sutter. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie.
Category is music and the law. Robin Thicke, Pharrell Williams, and T.I. were successfully sued by the estate of which late musician? This musician's estate argued that the song Blurred Lines infringed on Got to Give It Up, not because the music and lyrics were too similar, but that the feel and sound of both songs were the same.
We are, Leah, can we lock? Yes, we're locked. We're locked.
Okay.
Noah,
I can't remember how Blurred Lines sounds. Can you?
I cannot either. I'm trying to Got to Give It Up.
You're not missing much.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I don't think it's required. I don't know who did Got to Give It Up. I would say that this is going to be on the R&B side of things, though. I don't think this is going to be a rock song or anything like that. It's not country. Got to Give It Up. Not because maybe there's a clue in here somewhere. Estate. So it's somebody who had already passed away at that point. Is this maybe somebody like what's his name? Shoot. I can't come up with his name. Sexual healing guy. Marvin Gaye. Is this possibly Marvin Gaye? I could see him doing a song that sounded that Blurred Lines was based on, and he had passed away by that point for sure.
I don't know either song, so that's what's kind of killing me. If I wanted the two, could think of what it sounded like and work my way from that, but I just don't know either song.
God, if I can remember it, I would imitate it for you. Word Crimes by Weird Al is based on it. So it's like, do you remember Word Crimes?
Yeah.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey,
Ho, ho,
yeah.
ho. Hey, hey, it's that one. Da 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 da.
It doesn't kind of slide into a Marvin Gaye song for me.
You Gotta Give It Up sounds like a sexually charged song. Been saying the word sex a lot in the last two games, and without wanting to necessarily. I could still see it being a Marvin Gaye-ish style thing. I am very open to other things. Somebody, perhaps a Whitney Houston.
I'm sorry, John. I got nothing here. I'm just...
Need an answer, please.
Wow, so soon.
Yeah, that's 4 minutes.
Noah, shall we say Marvin Gaye?
Let's go with Marvin.
We're going to say Marvin Gaye.
I heard them say
right.
Marvin Barry.
Cameron, Leah, Chris, how does that make you feel?
I threw out Marvin Gaye fairly quickly. Cameron threw out Marvin Gaye rather quickly. Leah said, hey, if two people independently say it, then we should go with it. So we went with Marvin Gaye.
I would also like to quickly add that right before Jonathan remembered that, I messaged my team. He's going to kick himself when he realizes he probably knows the Weird Al parody.
True story.
Yay, it's Marvin Gaye. Yay.
Woo, man, that was a crazy lucky answer. That's the person who I thought of first. Wow.
That you tried to talk yourself out of.
Yeah, I didn't have any reason to believe it was right. When you don't know your answer's right, you keep looking.
Yeah, that too.
Fair.
But then he came back to it, which was the right thing to do. After 5 rounds, Leah, Chris, and Cameron have 106. Jonathan and Noah have 76. Moving on to round 5.
So that was after 4 rounds?
5. But it was after 4 rounds.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. 4 rounds. Round 5. Question 1. Also comes to us from Tracy Snelson. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
Your category is mythology.
Myth.
Yes.
Which Greek goddess is often depicted in art in a triple-bodied form, symbolizing her association with the crossroads and liminal spaces, and is mentioned in the dagger soliloquy in Act 2, Scene 1 of Macbeth?
You and your Shakespeare questions.
This was submitted. I didn't do it.
We're locking in.
Great. Jonathan and Noah, you guys have about 30 seconds to talk it out.
Could it be something like night or death or something like that, Noah? If we're dealing with crossroads and liminal spaces, when you die, you probably go to a crossroads in between life and death or something. It could be death related.
Yeah, that makes sense. What was the Greek goddess of death? Which one represented death?
I don't know that I know that. I know Nyx was night.
Need an answer, please?
Thanatos, but that was a guy. Crap. I mean, if I had a day and an encyclopedia, I bet I could figure the answer out here.
You don't, though.
I don't. Okay. So, Noah, what I said earlier is the best I have. I don't like it. If you want to say Hera, that's fine. If you want to say anything I wrote, that's fine. What I had was Crossroads brings me to Trivium, which I think is Latin. I feel like there's a multi-faced god, which I think of as masculine. That's Trivium and is like the god of Crossroads, which clearly isn't the answer to this question. So that's all I had.
My logic for Hera was a lot of the other ones you named. I can remember seeing in artwork and stuff. So Hera's the one I usually don't see as much in artwork. So
she definitely doesn't have a triple body.
Yeah. Oh well, then I'd go with Trivium. Then if you're sure that that's not Hera, then I go with Trivium. Just maybe we'll get lucky. I don't know.
All right, we'll say Trivium and we'll take our medicine.
Okay. Chris, Cameron, and Leah?
Yeah, is the name of a goddess of the crossroads.
Say that again. We couldn't.
Trivia. Just trivia. The word trivia is the name of a goddess. So we talked about that right away, just in case. We continued discussing just in case there are others, but none of us really came up with others. And this time I don't know as much about Macbeth as I wish I did. So, I don't think any of us were able to yay or nay it based on the Shakespeare angle. But yeah, Trivia also suggests the triple-bodied form thing, and we suggested maybe etymologically Trivia means three roads. But anyway, we went with trivia.
Trivia is the Roman goddess of the crossroads.
Oh.
The Greek goddess of the crossroads, and the one who is name checked in Macbeth by the Three Witches, is Hecate. Hecate?
No, as soon as you started saying that, Hecate came to mind, and but didn't do that when it was important.
I felt pretty sure that what I was saying was Latin and not Greek too. So I was like, when you said trivia, I'm like, I don't think that's going to be right for you though.
Yeah. Okay. Round 5, question 2 also comes to us from Tracy Snelson. Thank you once again, Tracy.
Wow, Tracy's on a roll. Good job, Tracy.
Yeah. Category is movies.
Movies.
The filming of what movie was wrapped in problems, including temperatures reaching 130 degrees Fahrenheit, frequent sandstorms, cast and crew suffering serious insect bites, and the star of the movie almost dying in a stunt?
Could you narrow it down a little bit for us?
I'd prefer not to.
Okay.
Originally, Tracy was kinder to you guys. I removed the year and gave you a hint instead. I will tell you that. Need an answer, please. We will start with Chris, Cameron, and Leah.
Yep, we locked in an answer so they could talk about it.
Okay. And we can't talk about it either. We just have to finalize our thought. Noah, we have to answer. If you think Apocalypse Now is the best of the ones we've talked about, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, everything else, there's that last second one I had, but that's just pulling stuff out my butt. So I know Apocalypse Now had problems in filming. So let's just go ahead and say Apocalypse Now.
Okay, let's say that.
Chris, Cameron, and Leah.
Well,
yeah, we just real brief. We did a bunch of stuff, but we locked in with Raiders of the Lost Ark.
In part because the sandstorm suggests desert and bugs suggest jungle. And so we wanted to go with something that included both.
Like that.
Fair enough. So again, credit to Tracy. When she wrote this question, she did have the year in it. I thought that made it a little too easy. And I will tell you, folks in the chat got it. The hint was Wrapped. This was 1999's classic, The Mummy.
I did say it.
Yeah.
Way early.
Oh, Wrapped was. Oh, wow. I said that Wrapped was not a clue, and
there hasn't been any. I haven't seen a bunch of clues in today's game like that, so I just stopped parsing. Damn.
That movie famously has questionable CGI of insects. I wouldn't have thought there were real bug bites to be had much at all. Although, to be clear, I like it a lot.
Jonathan and I got split the same way y'all did. We were thinking bug bites as jungle and sandstorms are desert. So we had trouble getting those two to overlap.
According to Tracy's flavor text, Brendan Fraser almost died filming the scene in which his character, that cell just kind of cuts off. That's kind of annoying. I think it was the scene where he was being hanged. He lost consciousness for around 15 seconds before being awoken by his stuntman.
Wow.
So that would have been
know. Oh well.
Today I learned.
Yep. Now you know. 10 more points to Orange Cat. Round 5, question 3. Let's see if we can get one question right this round. In your category is Melanin Mythbusters. This is a Instagram page I found recently, just sort of deconstructing myths around Black culture. It was super interesting, and I highly recommend it. This is one of the things that I learned from her.
Okay, we're going to Sherlock an answer.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry then if I wasn't clear. This is a YouTube channel, an Instagram channel. This is not actually like a genuine category, but here we are. It is. This fact is something I learned from her, is what I was saying. Okay. And here's your question. In 1992, In Living Color offered counter-programming to a certain portion of a certain broadcast, pulling 11% of viewers to Fox for that portion of that broadcast. The next year, that portion of programming changed dramatically and pulled 124.9 million viewers in 2026. What is that chunk of television?
All right. We're locked.
Oh, okay. Right. You're about to lock in. So, something I learned in the last 2 days. In 1992, The Super Bowl halftime show was something about ice skating, like ice capades kind of thing. In 1993, Super Bowl halftime show was Michael Jackson. We're pretty sure that this is talking about the Super Bowl halftime show.
Cameron, Leah, and Chris, what did you guys say?
Well, I said something that I think set off a pseudo landmine of thunder among Chris here.
No, I was just rereading the question to make sure I understood it because it was a lot of question.
It was.
And so I just wanted to make sure. And then, but yes, In Living Color did a halftime alternative. And but yeah, this was counter programming for the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Up until the early 90s, the Super Bowl halftime show was like traditional halftime shows. It was marching bands, it was ice skating, it was just weird little stuff, and people would kind of tune out. So In Living Color was like, we can capitalize on that. And it changed the way that we enjoy football.
True that, double true.
How about
In
that?
Living Color was so smart. And not just for that.
It was.
Yeah.
What was y'all Sherlock?
Sickle cell anemia.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Okay. She's a video on that too. I think.
Melatonin myths that sickle. There's lots of stuff around sickle cell. That felt like a good guess.
Yeah. Okay. After 5 rounds, Chris, Cameron, and Leah have 116. Jonathan and Noah have 86.
Hey, we didn't get swept that round, everybody.
Yay. Round 6, question 1. Your category is the Law 1. In early 2026, a patron of what chain restaurant sued the company because of misleading language on the menu? The Illinois judge who heard the case indicated disdain for the suit, claiming it, quote, had no meat on its bones, end quote, and was an attempt to, quote, drum up attention for the plaintiff.
We're locked in.
All right.
All right. So, yeah, we're struggling. We think it's a chicken place because of the meat on the bone and the drum up. Been tossing around, hey, is it KFC because it wasn't fried in Kentucky? Is it Bojangles for having the tiniest drumsticks that don't actually have any meat on them? Is it somebody's spicy chicken that wasn't spicy? We don't freaking know. Noah, are you still leaning KFC?
Yeah, the meat on the bones and the drumsticks, I'd lean KFC. If it was like a Bojangles, I've not heard of them in the news for any kind of lawsuit. But hearing a lawsuit about KFC would just be, you'd be like, oh, another one, move on. So,
okay, I'm fine with it. We can say KFC.
Yeah, we can say KFC.
All right. Leah, Cameron, Chris.
Well, our very first thought was Burger King because we feel like we've seen some advertisements about veggie burgers somewhere on some commercial recently. But we circled around and saw Drum Up. And we also saw Meat on the Bone, which took me away from cow because the meat on chicken is much closer to the bone anyway. And something in my head was telling me KFC is not... I don't think they were founded in Kentucky. If I'm wrong, laugh at me. So the fact that Erin specified a state that wasn't Kentucky made me more likely to think maybe that's kind of sort of a clue. And all of this is to say we landed on KFC.
Okay, well, that is going to be 10 more points to Orange Cat. I'm keeping his score over here. You guys all locked in on the right stuff. The drum up and meat on the bones judges, they're just like us, apparently. This was somebody who sued a company because he claimed that their boneless wings are not actually wing meat, and that was
BW3s.
misrepresenting. Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh.
He said boneless wings are not actually wing meat, that's breast meat. And the judge was like, yeah, no kidding, dude. That's been a term in the industry for like decades. So sit down. So yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings was your answer there.
Huh.
Oakley dokley.
That was in my head. Dang it.
Aw. Round 6, question 2. Your category is first jobs. A sleuth may know that what actor, known for his flawless performances, was a plumber's assistant before getting his big break in 1964. All right, that is time.
All right, I guess we're locked in.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I mean, we only had really one answer, y'all. So, I mean, Sean Connery and
we just hope that we're thinking of it wrong.
Yeah. So we locked in with Sean Connery.
Okay.
Jonathan and Noah.
For us, we were looking for a detective. I did think of James Bond stuff, but James
Yeah.
Bond is an agent, not a detective.
No, I get
so
it. We just couldn't
didn't
come up
go.
with a detective.
Couldn't come up with a lot. We were like, who plays Hercule Poirot? We don't know. Who is it? Did Dashiell Hammett? No, Maltese Falcon's too early for this. It's not Humphrey Bogart. And Noah, you did come up with a detective.
I got Peter Sellers for the Pink Panther series. There was a Poirot series on TV that had many seasons, and I feel like it was around that era, but I cannot think of that actor's name.
Yep. So that's what we said.
You okay? 10 more points to Orange Cat. Sleuth was a 1973 film for which this actor was nominated for Best Actor. Flawless was another movie of his that I can't seem to find right now.
We were like, does his name mean perfect? What does this mean, flawless? We didn't know.
Same.
It is very difficult to put his better known movies into sentences because, Inception and The Dark Knight and The Muppets Christmas Carol don't really get me there. It's Michael Caine.
Yeah. Once you started saying Sleuth and Flawless were the names of things, all of a sudden Michael Caine's name started popping up there.
Yep.
But we were parsing it the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
You had the right idea. Last question, round 6, question 3 comes to us from David Abalafia. Thank you, David.
Hey, Erin,
Thank you, David.
We're going to Sherlock whatever this is. So just give us about 10 seconds before you ask a question.
I figured because he actually wrote this to be a Sherlockable category.
Oh, thank you, David Abalafia.
Category is another thing around the house.
Sure. Yeah. Done.
Sherlocked.
Okay.
Good luck.
We're all counting on you.
Odds in your favor. All right. In 1965, what TV household was the first to be shown to have a home computer? They used the device nicknamed Wizzo to calculate the cost of a trip to the moon and predict horse races to finance such a trip. The father later used Wizzo as part of his run for mayor, where he promised to, among other things, preserve the city's picturesque slums.
We are locking
in.
Great.
I had an answer I felt really great about, and then I reread the last part of the question. I thought this was going to be the Jetsons. The timing is right. Home computers did not exist in 1965, so this is going to be some fantastical thing. The Jetsons did have computers and whatnot, but run for mayor where he promised to, among other things, preserve the city's picturesque slums. I don't think any sitcom was referring to any picturesque slums at any point in that era of shows, which means I don't like our answers, Noah.
Was there a 60s Richie Rich show?
There was Richie Rich.
30 seconds.
Once again, I don't think slums.
I mean, because he would be rich enough to have a home computer, and then there was a city around them, and that's the best I get.
I mean, if we're gonna go in the direction of cartoons, I think I would still lean Jetsons.
Yeah,
maybe George is just being a buffoon and not knowing what a slum is.
Need an answer, please?
All right, let's say the Jetsons.
Yeah, Jetsons locked in.
Okay. Cameron, Leah, Chris.
Yeah, they said. Yeah, you guys mentioned the Jetsons. I shut that down because I really think that was in the late 70s. The time didn't really match up for it.
Okay.
So we scrapped Jetsons pretty quickly, and knocked around other 60s 70s family things until someone, I think it was Cameron, came back with the okay, let's look at the title, the category again. Another thing around the house, all capitalized, and that made me think of the Addams Family, and Thing. Because Thing was capitalized. Maybe we're just looking at hints where they don't exist, but it's the right timing for the show. We could see,
and I could see Gomez Adams saying this, the picturesque
something's picturesque that nobody else thinks is picturesque.
I could see him betting on horses too.
Yeah.
That's a really good answer.
So we locked in with Adam's family.
That is a good answer for all the reasons you said. It is, in fact, the correct answer. Good work.
Well
Hey!
done,
Well done.
y'all.
Well done.
What a great get.
Leah. Wow.
Yeah, good work. That was
That
exciting.
was teamwork. That was definitely teamwork.
Yeah.
Wizzo was a UNIVAC computer built by Gomez and Pugley. It originally resided in the family's playroom, but Uncle Fester moved it to the living room so Gomez could use it as his political machine. Is the flavor text provided by David. Chris, Cameron, and Leah have 136. Jonathan and Noah have 96. Your gauntlet category is hangovers. Place your bets.
All right. Our wager's locked in.
Great.
I'm willing to roll with what Leah just said, Chris.
Okay. Our wager is locked in.
Love it. Gauntlet. Last week was St. Patrick's Day. This week we got around on hangovers. Question number 1. Although the hair of the dog hangover remedy doesn't work, the idea of drinking more to help gives its name to what classic cocktail, the most common of which involves gin, lemon juice, Cointreau, Lillet, and absinthe served up in a coupe. That's time, my loves. Give me answers, please.
You go with that, Noah?
Yeah.
All right. We will lock in.
Oh, we're locked in.
Number 2. Congeners are byproducts of fermentation that exacerbate hangovers. Vodka has basically none. What other liquor, whose name comes originally from a French dynasty, has 37% more congeners than vodka?
That would still be none.
Don't expect me to do math. I was told.
Just say it.
I said basically none.
You did. I wrote dynasties like nasties instead of
You did.
correctly,
Dynasties.
and I don't hate it.
That would be a good team name. We're the Dynasties.
It's a very different French thing.
I would rather die calmly.
All right, we're gonna lock in.
All right. Chris, Cameron, Leah, talk it out.
No, Leah, I think you were about to say the same thing, right?
Okay. Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess we're locked in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And finally, question number 3. Pyritinol, which is a synthetic vitamin B6, can help reduce hangover symptoms. The problem is you have to take several hundred times the recommended dose, and side effects may include what inflammatory disease, which is usually caused by a virus, sex, or sharing needles.
Whoa.
Yeah, right?
Okay, we're gonna lock in.
I am on board.
I'm good with that too.
All right, we're
Okay.
locked in
Yeah,
with that answer.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay.
You do?
Let's hear what your answers were. I love that you have locked in an answer. I love an answer. Question number 1. What classic cocktail, the most common variation of which involves gin, lemon juice, Cointreau, Lillet, and absinthe served up and in a coupe? Chris, Cameron, and Leah, what did you guys put?
Yeah, if there was a category for a gauntlet that I could be more inept in, this might be it.
Yeah, and we basically just brainstormed some cocktails. And if I knew what was in that cocktail and it wasn't the stuff in the list, I said no, that's not it. But I don't know every cocktail. We tried a little bit to think of New Orleans-y things because absinthe is in there, and I would guess that most cocktails with absinthe are probably at least drunk there, if not from there. But I could not think of any. So Cameron suggested dark and stormy, and that was one that I could not come up. Yeah, I don't know what's in that. So since I didn't know it was in that, I said, okay, can't disqualify it. So I guess that's what we have.
Okay. Noah and Jonathan.
I know a good number of drinks, Jonathan, and this one threw me for a loop because I was chugging through everything in my mind, and I'm just like, nope. The absinthe is what threw me. I'm like, I don't know a lot of drinks that have absinthe that's not just absinthe poured up, traditionally poured over the thing of sugar and stuff. So I think we just went with Tom Collins because I think that was, we had no other idea.
It has gin. I've had a dark and stormy. Those are tasty. I think it had ginger beer in it.
I think it's rum and ginger beer, if I remember right.
Dark rum and ginger beer, yeah.
Rum is sounding
All right.
familiar now that you said that.
Yeah.
All right. We'll come back to that. Congeners are byproducts. What other liquor whose name comes from a French dynasty has more congeners than vodka? Jonathan and Noah.
Jonathan got this one.
Bourbon Dynasty. So
All right.
if it's a different French dynasty, it's like, oh, well, that's all of the questions we didn't get right instead of just 2 of the questions.
Leah, Cameron, Chris.
Yeah.
We also said bourbon.
Leah circled in on that almost immediately.
Mm-hmm. It's a liquor. It's a French dynasty. We did pause a bit to see if we could think up any others just to, hit all the bases. We couldn't, so bourbon.
All right.
Yep.
And pyritinol, it'll cure hangover, but it will also give you what? Jonathan and Noah.
Noah?
We went over a bunch of stuff. The clue kind of pointed us towards something STD, in the area of STDs. I was thinking the sharing needles made me think hepatitis. And we were kind of just guessing on this, so I think we just went with hepatitis.
Okay. Leah, Cameron, Chris.
Why I may not know alcohol per se, I know my sexual transmitted diseases. Anyway, I'm kidding. But the only, I said in our chat, the only thing that kind of fits the 3, which is virus, sex, or sharing needles, was hepatitis. I mean, besides AIDS. But I mean, hepatitis
didn't fit anything else in the question,
Yeah, exactly. And so we asked Erin in the chat, did we have to be specific which hepatitis that
we did too.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Honestly, when you guys asked that, I was when you guys said, "Hey, we have a question for you," I was like, "Yep, they're probably asking the same thing I thought of." But Leah and Cameron were nice enough to let me just go with my answer, which is we said hepatitis.
Okay. Yeah, you guys do know your STDs. The first time I asked this question, I didn't include the word inflammatory, and it pointed a lot of people towards HIV/AIDS, which is the wrong answer. The other thing that you can get from all those things, as well as pyritinol, is hepatitis.
Wow. Good job, Noah.
Good job.
Which one was it?
And
A,
good
B, or
job,
C?
Chris.
I don't know, and I didn't feel like looking it up, which is why I didn't bother making you guys know
I was
it.
just curious.
I want to say C.
I'm asking for a friend.
When you said we didn't need to be more specific, in my head I was like, "Oh, we're wrong. We would have."
Right, I wondered that too.
Yeah.
I saw you spiraling, and I'm like, "Oh, I really hope that doesn't throw him that badly." Yeah.
No.
I don't
Also,
know.
we may not
got a
wanna
doctor in the
say-
chat. Can't you tell us?
We may not want to say we know our STDs. That's not exactly what we mean.
Details, minor details.
I was just really happy that Noah was experienced for this one.
Oh.
All right. What liquor has a lot of congeners, gives its name to a street in New Orleans that is the Bourbon Dynasty?
Hey.
Man, we got 2 of these right.
You did. You guys did
feel
very
pretty
well.
good, Noah.
Yeah.
Maybe we pulled it off. I don't think we did, but
Nope.
Maybe. Nope.
I don't. Well, listen. So yeah, what drink? Hair the dog. Drinking more to help your hangover. It gives its name to a classic cocktail. It's more of a family of classic cocktails, but the specific one I gave you, I told you it was served up in a coupe because I didn't want you to think about tiki drinks, so you can maybe rule out a zombie. And it's served in a coupe and not a Collins glass, so it's not a Tom Collins. Dark and Stormy is rum and ginger beer. But the drink that involves all of those things and fixes your hangover is called a corpse reviver. Specifically, that's a corpse reviver number 2.
Whoa.
Never heard of it.
I've never heard of it either.
Delicious.
Never heard of it.
And that is a classic cocktail.
This is where Erin's knowledge of different mixes and whatnot probably gives her a broader expectation of what is a known thing.
I think this played like 50% at my game. So,
well, yeah, but you're at a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
I thought this
Survivor
was
classic cocktail.
I thought this was the podcast that took the pub quiz out of the pub.
That's exactly right. There's no drinks in here.
Well said. Well said.
No, that's good.
Okay. Well,
That's good.
anyway.
Yeah. No.
So no one got the gauntlet right. It comes down to wagers. So let's start with Jonathan and Noah. You guys were trailing coming in with 96 points. What did you bet?
You know what? Sometimes you just got to stand on your name. and you got to push all your chips into the middle. So this was not one of those times. We bet 15.
All right. So your final score, 96 minus 15, is 81. I didn't do that math. The spreadsheet did it for me. Cameron, Leah, and Chris, you guys started with 136.
Good job, Erin. Good job. You managed to get through the whole show and not break the spreadsheet.
I did. There's still time, but I was really pleased when the midpoint worked. But yeah, I did it. Yay. With 136 points starting out, Cameron, Leah, and Chris, how did you wager?
We did not anticipate you would bet 15.
Why not?
I did.
You did?
I did.
Yeah, he did actually, because we did talk about what to bet in case they expected us to bet what.
I said this was a hard show, and they were probably betting light.
Right.
I said 16. Then 16
I missed one. Would have been a logical one. I don't usually choose the obvious.
Yeah, we did say 16, but then I think it was Chris wanted a 2-point buffer instead of a 1-point buffer.
Oh, that's just because I can't add or subtract. Yeah.
Oh,
we bet 57.
So there was, in fact, a 2-point buffer. It was just, unfortunately, not 2 points in your favor. With the final score, 79 to 81, today's winners are Jonathan and Noah.
What a great finish.
Well done, Jonathan.
Noah, we said, in the chat, I'm like, I mean, if I were them and I missed it, I'd end with 79. So I don't want to go below 79. That was the only thing. And I don't typically like to give the number right on the money to be a perfect 1 point because people can predict that. And so that's why it was 15 instead of 16. What a good game.
Good job, guys. That was close. That was a nail biter.
Done.
I love it. Yeah.
Golly. Big one. Okay, guys. We've been running a little long. Let's wrap this thing up. Before we go, we like to give everybody a chance to do shout-outs and promote causes that they care about. Noah, you're today's big winner, so we're going to start with you.
Yeah, just a charity the wife and I love to donate to every year. It's run by the two gentlemen that started the webcomic Penny Arcade. It's called Child's Play. Basically, it's about 4 video gamers getting together and giving toys to sick kids, especially ones that are immune deficient. So it's easy to sterilize things like video games and some of these toys to give to these kids. So Child's Play charity, they usually do a big run in around the Christmas time. So please check them out. And a big thank you and big love to Trivial Warfare. Love you guys so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, we're going to move over to Leah next.
So if I could indulge in 2 shout outs. One is professional. If you're not already playing Thrice by Geeks Who Drink, you should play Thrice by Geeks Who Drink. It's a daily trivia game that new questions every day. It's the Wordle of trivia, really. So just Google that, check it out. And then the not professionally oriented one, support trans people. It's one of the populations right now who are vulnerable and who are being made even more vulnerable. And if you have friends, support them. If you don't, if you don't know any trans people, then at least be an ally in whatever way that you can find, whether that's online, whether that's giving to organizations, but it's a population that definitely needs the help of cisgender and transgender people right now. So
nice, yeah, good,
outstanding.
Well said.
Here.
Good stance.
All right, and Cameron, we're going to wrap up with you.
Well, as we were starting the gauntlet, my wonderful wife, without me knowing it at all, walked in and surprised me with the Sonic drink she gave. So I just want to shout out my wife for all the wonderful ways, not least of which being a non-alcoholic drink during the Hangovers gauntlet.
It's good wifing right there.
Yes. Mm-hmm. My shout out is a sort of PSA to everyone for self-care. The last time I was on this show, I was relatively fresh out of a pseudo-crisis time of my life in terms of employment and life identities and whatnot. I won't claim to have as same of a near emergency as many people out there, but in the process of that, I was surprised at how much capacity I had as a human to reinvent myself and shift priorities and find new ways of life and moving forward. And giving up on what you had previously worked hard for in pursuit of some other thing that is even more true to your emerging self. I have thanks to a therapist and a spiritual director and other things to help out with that as well. So if you listening to this are in some sort of a rut, some situation that you don't feel you can get out of or change, I don't know you, I don't know your situation, but I want to throw out, you can probably surprise yourself with how much change you can bring, and it is worth the time and it is worth the effort. Be incredibly generous to yourself and do something that future you will be incredibly proud of, and you just might be pleased with whatever the horizons are.
That is woof. I love it.
Awesome shout outs, guys.
I receive that.
Yes. Talking to you, talking to everyone here too.
You.
Oh, thank you all. Guys, that is going to wrap us up. Good job today. For Cameron, for Leah, for Noah, for Erin, and for Chris, my name is Jonathan. This has been episode number 578 of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Have fun storming the castle.
Bye.
Happy the same.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit ProPodcastingServices.com.